The scream ripped through the courthouse parking lot just as the rain began to fall. People turned at once. Some froze, some ran. A security guard dropped his coffee. A woman staggered backward, hands slick with blood, shaking her head as if denial alone could reverse what she'd seen. Inside the parked sedan, Judge Malcolm Ivers slumped against the steering wheel, throat opened cleanly, blood pooling onto the seat and dripping onto the concrete below. No sign of struggle, no weapon, no witnesses who could say they'd seen anyone approach the car. Within minutes, police tape sealed the lot. Sirens layered over one another. Phones came out. Rumors spread faster than facts. Across the street, standing beneath the awning of a closed law office, the narrator watched everything unfold with quiet focus, rain soaking into their coat, eyes never leaving the body. Jesus Christ, Detective Aaron Cole muttered beside them. Someone just executed a judge in broad daylight. The narrator said nothing. They only nodded, already cataloging the details, the angle of the cut, the lack of panic in the victim's posture, the calm efficiency of it all. This wasn't random, Cole continued. This was personal. Everything feels personal when it's close, the narrator replied mildly. Cole glanced at them. You always say that, because it's usually true. By nightfall, the city was electric with fear. A judge dead in his car. No suspect. No motive anyone wanted to say out loud. By morning, the suspect list was already forming. The ex-wife. The disbarred attorney, Judge Ivers, had publicly humiliated years earlier. A defendant who lost custody of his children after Ivers' ruling. Names flowed easily when anger was involved. The narrator sat in on every interview, a silent presence with a notebook, never interrupting unless invited. Did you ever threaten him? Cole asked one suspect. I thought about it, the man snapped. You ever think about killing someone who ruined your life? Thinking isn't doing. The narrator wrote that down. 2 days later, the second body was found. Professor Helen Ward, esteemed sociologist, volunteer mentor, found dead in her university office, seated upright at her desk, hands folded as if in prayer. One precise cut, same angle, same restraint. Cole slammed his fist onto the table in the briefing room. That's not a coincidence. That's a message. A pattern, another officer said. But what's the connection? Someone asked. All eyes drifted unconsciously toward the narrator. They shrugged. At face value, none that anyone wants to admit. Meaning? Meaning these people don't look like villains. That night, the narrator met with Ward's former research assistant, a young woman with red eyes and shaking hands. She was kind, the assistant said. She helped everyone. Did she ever hurt anyone? The narrator asked gently. The woman laughed bitterly. No, she just ignored some people, said they didn't fit her data. The narrator nodded. And those people? They disappeared from the program. Their funding got cut. Some of them dropped out entirely. Did she ever talk about them again? No, the assistant whispered. It was like they never existed. The third murder came faster. A nonprofit director, then a school board chair. Each time the same method, the same silence. No witnesses, no chaos, just a life ended cleanly and deliberately. The city demanded answers. The mayor demanded arrests. The suspect list ballooned. Someone like this doesn't stop, Cole said during a late-night meeting. They escalate. They refine, the narrator corrected. They learn. Cole studied them. You sound like you admire him. I admire precision, the narrator said, not the act. Interrogations grew harsher. Voices rose. Innocent people cracked under pressure. One man sobbed. I didn't kill her. I hated her. Yeah, but I didn't kill her. Cole looked unconvinced. The narrator leaned in. Hatred is loud, they said calmly. This killer isn't. That man was later arrested anyway. The city exhaled in relief. Headlines celebrated progress. Social media declared justice imminent. 3 days later, the man was found dead in his cell. Apparent suicide. The murders continued. Cole stared at the board, eyes hollow. We're chasing ghosts. No, the narrator said softly. You're chasing the wrong kind of person. And what kind is that? The kind who wants recognition. Cole laughed without humor. Everyone wants recognition. Not everyone, the narrator replied. Some people only want balance. That word lingered, balance. Cole began reviewing the victims again, not their enemies, but their decisions. Every one of them signed something, he said slowly. A ruling, a rejection, a dismissal. Paper cuts, the narrator said. They bleed quietly. The realization unsettled him. You think this is some moral crusade? I think, the narrator said, that someone noticed how easily power erases people. Another arrest followed, then another release. Public trust collapsed. The murders stopped abruptly. Weeks passed, then months. The case went cold. Cole aged visibly. His voice lost its edge. His marriage frayed. The narrator remained, still documenting, still listening. Years later, Cole sat across from them in a bar, staring into his drink. I think about it every night, he said, about what we missed. We miss things when we expect monsters, the narrator replied. You still think about them? Cole asked. The victims? The narrator considered. I think about what they took without realizing it. Cole nodded. If you ever figure it out, the narrator smiled faintly. You'll be the first to know. Cole never was. The city moved on. New scandals, new fears. The story became just another unsolved case, retold in podcasts and comment sections. The narrator watched those videos sometimes, reading theories, seeing names dragged through the mud. They noticed something interesting. No one ever mentioned them. Near the end of one such video, the narrator leaned closer to the microphone, voice steady, inviting, familiar. If you've made it this far, they said, you already understand something most people don't, that the truth isn't always loud. If stories like this keep you thinking, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment. People underestimate how much attention matters. The killer was never on the suspect list because the person telling you this story was the one who killed them all.